Welcome to another Founder Wisdom podcast. We have Rush, the CEO of sellthetrend.com, with us today. They do all in one AI dropshipping through their softwares for e-com success. I was in dropshipping. These were my first businesses back in the days. I would never go back to drop shipping again. But yeah, Rush is here to tell us today why it might be a good idea to go into drop shipping. I'm not sure if it's still hot. I'm eager to discuss that today. Podcasts are still hot in my opinion nowadays. Podfire.com is my company. If you want to start a podcast and scale it, monetize it through AdSense, through sponsors, and through lead gen, you can go to podfire.com. For that, we have a free book telling you how to do that. Rush, I'm glad to have you on. Tell us a bit more about yourself and about Sell the Trend.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Charles, on your podcast. So, just to start, kind of, where you let off, is dropshipping still hot? Dropshipping has been dying for about 25 years. So every year, somebody, the big news flash is, dropshipping is dead. Dropshipping is dead. It's literally been dying for 25 years. Dropshipping has never been a better place to start in 2025. And Sell the Trend, speaking about Sell the Trend, is really the best place to start, because with Sell the Trend, let me just give you a little back on Sell the Trend. Sell the Trend is an all-in-one dropshipping application, right? So if you come to Sell the Trend, you can basically start your entire dropshipping business just from our website. So you don't need a Shopify, a WooCommerce, an Etsy store, any of these other platforms. You can literally do everything directly with Sell the Trend. You can find products, you can launch a store using AI, you can find suppliers, you can fulfill orders, you can do marketing, you can pretty much do everything just from our platform. So we like to say Sell the Trend is a real all-in-one platform, because really it's pretty much the only real all-in-one platform out there right now. So
Interesting. So yeah, I did drop shipping 10 years ago. I would buy stuff from China and I would sell it on Kijiji, which
mm,
is like the ancestors of ancestors in terms of
yes.
yeah, drop shipping. Had some success. At least it had me discover entrepreneurship, right? And major profit margins. I discovered I could make $100 an hour instead of the 10 an hour was paid a decade ago. And that changed my entrepreneurial perspective. I was like, let's go all in. But yeah, the scalability issues, also the ethics, right, of buying like something so cheap and selling it for very high. The issues with China delivering these products to Canada, for example, and now we're seeing the Trump tariffs and so forth. That might be a question of mine later on. But if I would be a new entrepreneur today, how would you recommend that I start my drop shipping business? Is it easier than before, harder than before? What niche should I choose? How should I market myself? How should I start?
Sure. So you bring in a lot of great points, right? So let me address a few of these points, because I think they're interesting and also important. So you mentioned something. Let's talk about two things: the ethics, and also, is it easier to start today than it was 10 years ago? So just talking about the ethics, think of it this way: this is literally the basis of commerce, right? So think about this. Apple, they're buying, they're creating things that are manufactured for really cheap. They're putting it together, marketing them really nice, and then overcharging you by, I don't know how much, right? You can buy a similar or better performing phone for a lot cheaper than Apple, but Apple has created an ecosystem that will give you, a few things that are like a pluses, right? So think of it this way: you're buying something from China, but you're sourcing great products. So if you're building it like a real business and a proper business, anybody can kind of cheese out any kind of business. But this is kind of what we train people on, how we kind of like to run these stores, is, or at least tell people how to run these stores. You're finding a product that is a desirable product, right? A winning product. And then you are sourcing it maybe from China or maybe from other, local suppliers, but then your job is to find the best version of this product, right? Find something that is reliable, that is not going to break down, that is going to be a quality version. Technically, you might even ship it to yourself. You can test it, make sure that the supplier that you're going to be partnering up with is a quality supplier. And then you are presenting this product to the general public, right? You're paying for ads and all these kind of things. You're presenting it to the general public, and also you're doing great customer service, right? You're not, some supplier from China that is going to take you forever to respond, maybe the language barrier. So you're providing a lot of value to these products. So, I take a little, contest a little bit about the ethical, because that's really the nature of commerce, right? And then this way, another example I love to use is Wayfair. a lot of people don't realize that Wayfair is a dropshipping company. Wayfair is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, website. It's really a dropshipping website. Wayfair itself doesn't house any inventory, right? They don't have any inventory. It's literally when you buy something from Wayfair, you are getting the item drop shipped from the supplier directly to the Wayfair customer, right? So this is not some kind of a weird business model. This is a business model that a lot of major businesses are built upon. So that's to answer your first question. The second question is it easier in 2025 to start a dropshipping business compared to how it was in 10 years ago, right? So 100%, right? So with the advent of just optimization, automation, AI now, and all these other enhancements, literally the barrier of entry for dropshipping has never been easier and has never been lower, right? Because think of it, even about 8 months ago, 9 months ago, maybe a year ago, if you wanted to start a brand new store, it would take you, you got to open up a Shopify store, right? Which requires you to set it up, configure it, add, certain pages like, contact us, configure all this stuff, and then find products. Now you got to go find a winning product tool and find all these. Now with something like Sell the Trend, it's literally you can launch a dropshipping store in 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, you can have a complete dropshipping store ready to take sales in just 5 minutes, including winning products and all these other things already pre-set up for you. So yes, absolutely. If you want to start a dropshipping business today, it's literally a click of a button. And then we can talk about some of the other things that are required to actually grow a dropshipping business. I mean, the barrier of entry has been lower, but now, of course, you need to grow it and you need to manage it. But so to answer your questions, absolutely. If you want to start dropshipping, absolutely, time to start is right now.
Right. And how would you start? You just start with your own platform, which is Sell the Trend, and voila, most of it would be done. Shouldn't people start in a super lean way and buy shit on Temu or AliExpress and resell them on Kijiji like I did before? What's the very lean way to go from 0 to 1?
Sure. So there's two things. When you're talking about lean, there's two factors, right? There's price, how much money am I spending to drop ship? And then there's also, not just the price, but also the time it takes to do something, right? So given your example, if you are going to do it the manual way, your own way, so that means you have to go on AliExpress, you have to find what a winning product is on AliExpress, and it's not just the products that are selling more, so there's a lot of other variables to what an actual product is popular in on social media and some of these other places where you hope to sell it. But also you need to import the product, you need to connect with the supplier, you need to import the product into your store, you need to set up your store, you need to do all these things. And if you're importing it to maybe a platform like GGG, you need to open up an account there, add the product manually into the website. So there's a time constraint there. While if you use something like Sell the Trend, sure, you are paying a subscription fee for the Sell the Trend after the 14-day trial, but it's literally all of this hard work, all of this automation, all this figuring out what a winning product is and how to add it to your store and write product descriptions and all these things that are really what stops people from doing drop shipping, right? Because I don't know how to do any of these things. That will just stop you dead in your tracks. With something like Sell the Trend, it's all that stuff is taken care of for you. The only thing you have to focus on is the ludicrously low subscription fee for Sell the Trend. Literally for one small price, you're getting an entire business. And also, then you got to talk about marketing your products and just telling the world about your website, right? So there's really no, in my view, and hopefully I've explained it properly, there's really no comparison between doing it on your own, the manual way, and then using something like Sell the Trend.
Do you have your own dropshipping business on the side?
No. So I don't personally have a dropshipping business on the side. I don't really have time to run an entire dropshipping business and Sell the Trend at the same time. But obviously, we have employees in our company that have dropshipping businesses, and we have people that are creating content for us that are our employees that have dropshipping businesses. Our coaches have dropshipping businesses. So we definitely have people in the organization that have dropshipping businesses. But me personally, I do not.
Right. And okay, if I have my dropshipping business, if you'd ask me I would start a business nowadays, yes, I'd probably use your software to know what's trendy and so forth, but I'd have massive outreach campaigns going on to key influencers. And ideally, I wouldn't dig in my cash coffins to pay them. I'd probably give them the product or something like that. Would that be a good strategy to get me off the ground, potentially get me viral?
Absolutely. So the way you mentioned this is actually the way that we do recommend it, right? So if you are starting in dropshipping right now, we don't recommend, if you're just starting, right? If you have no experience with a lot of the marketing aspects, we recommend you do one of two things. Either you're going to do organic marketing. So basically you find the product that you want to, on Sell the Trend that is a winning product. And now you say, okay, I want to create some organic content for it, shoot a video using the product. And then just put it on social media. And then we recommend you, blast it on social media as much as possible, create exciting videos for it on a daily basis, put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram, all those kind of things. So that's the organic method. They're literally zero product, but very, very low dollars. You're not buying for advertising. You're not spending money on that stuff. Or the other method is the social media, the influencer marketing kind of method, right? So connect with influencers. You don't have to go for the massive ones that have, millions and millions of followers, because those will definitely want to charge you something. But maybe with these micro influencers that you say, hey, I'm going to give you some stuff. I'm going to give you a product for free. And see if they will do it. A lot of people won't even, maybe won't do that. But the good thing about it is that you can start generating real sales from very small budget, right? So even for $25, $30, you can get an influencer, right? A micro influencer, 50,000 followers, to promote your product to their audience. And that's a really passionate audience. Usually we actually recommend the micro influencers even more than the major influencers. They have a passionate audience that follows their page, and that will get you sales. That will get you many, many sales for almost like no money, for a very, very, very low budget. And that will get you going. That will feed your pixel. That will get you the funds that you need to maybe start experimenting with ads and some of these other more advanced marketing techniques.
And are you competing with Shopify?
So I don't like to use the word compete, because it seems like a divisive term. We provide something that is more more specific to dropshipping, right? Shopify is a great application. We are a shop. We have an app on Shopify as well. So it's not like we hate Shopify or anything like that. I think Shopify, they have a great team. They have a great organization, and really are the OGs of dropshipping. But we do provide a dropshipping specific application, right? Shopify, you can create any kind of website on Shopify. You can, if you want to sell products from your basement, you can sell products. If you want to, do a storefront and you have, a point of sale, and all, you can do that on Shopify. But we provide a dropshipping tweaked and optimized application, right? So when you start up a Sell Shop, which is our own version of Shopify, when you start up a Sell the Trend Sell Shop that comes in with Sell the Trend right now, that it's literally optimized for dropshipping, right? Everything is available for you. You don't have to worry about too many screens, too many confusion, and a lot of and we already also, as part of Sell the Trend, we include with our Sell Shop applications that are needed to succeed in dropshipping, like quantity breaks and customer review apps, all of these things that you have to usually pay for on Shopify. You have to download apps and stuff like that on Shopify. We already include that because we know what it takes to succeed in dropshipping. So we give you all those apps already included with Sell Shop. So, we're not competitors. I think we are just providing something more specific to dropshipping.
Right. How many paid users vs free users?
Sorry?
How many paid users vs free users do you have?
So we have, tens of thousands of stores that are started on Sell the Trend on Sell Shop. So we have not only do we have that, but we also have people that are already Shopify customers as well. So we have thousands of customers. We don't have a specific number, but we have thousands of customers.
So yeah, that's pretty impressive. Have you been bootstrapped since day one? Are you raising funds?
Yes.
Wow. What's the AI component of the platform? Tell me a bit more about that.
Sure. So when I first started Sell the Trend in 2019, we really started as just a product discovery tool, right? So we started as just here's an app that will allow you to find winning products, right? And early on in the growth of Sell the Trend, we started using AI. Even before AI was a buzzword, to kind of locate these products and rank them and rate them and get the images match and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of started doing that even before it was popular. AI was popular over the last couple of years. So we use AI right now. Now that it's been 5 years and it's grown. Obviously, we're using it for not just for images and video ranking and manipulation, but also product descriptions, we also create advertising copy for Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and X and all that kind of stuff. So, we love AI over at Sell the Trend, not because it's a buzz thing, but because it's actually what is going to allow you to get your work done faster, right? And we've tweaked all of our models based on dropshipping knowledge, right? So, anybody can go to ChatGPT and, hey, help me write a product description, which is great, and you can totally do that, right? But, when we train, for example, when it comes to product description, our AI that writes the product descriptions, we trained it based on what it is to actually write a highly converting product description, right? And we have 3 different models. So when you generate a product description on Sell the Trend, you can choose from 3 different models, 3 different almost sales pages, based on the models that we trained, right? So, we love AI, and, we're going to keep adding more and more AI features as the time goes on.
Right. The UX, is it a priority for you? Because if I use like Shopify, it's so easy, right? And that's sort of what you're competing against. And or how are you taking feature requests from your customers, and what's in your current pipeline of features?
Sure. So we do have a feature portal, right? So if you on Sell the Trend and you click on settings, and you can suggest a feature, and we're always, to be honest with you, to me, customer feedback is the #1 driver for any of these things that you're talking about. What are we going to do in the future? What kind of new features are you adding? All that kind of stuff. So yes, absolutely. Our UI and UX, we spent a lot of time on making sure that it is simple and clean. And that's really what also goes back to what we were talking about. With Shopify, there is, I know it's, and again, I don't want, I'm not trying to speak badly about Shopify, but think of it this way. Shopify has many masters to satisfy, so to speak, right? They need to allow you all the stuff because they want you just to any kind of business, any kind of e-commerce business you're trying to run, you can do it with Shopify, right? But for us, it's drop shipping, right? So everything is simplified. So if you are using Sell the Trend, it's a lot of an easier process to get a store up and running and to use it, using the UI and modifying your store, adjusting colors and all those kind of things. It's a lot more focused on getting drop shipping. So that's something that you can definitely be comfortable in saying, but also it allows you to still kind of perform the entire dropshipping flow that you're looking for. So yeah, so it's definitely you're able to do that.
And isn't Temu the #1 company in terms of UX and follow-ups and getting customers to actually buy from them even better than Amazon nowadays?
Well, think of it this way. I don't know what the exact stat is, but I think like Temu has like 2 billion customers, something like ludicrous, but over just a short span of time, right? Over the last 2 years since they started really, coming into the zeitgeist, they've really grown in such a huge way. And, Amazon is feeling the heat from everything that I've read. Amazon is definitely feeling the heat, and they're making adjustments on their own website to satisfy the Temu customer, right? So, as you'll see some changes on the Amazon website where, before it was, shipping speed is the key, right? You want to get stuff within the first, 24 hours or whatever the case may be. But now there's even pages on Amazon coming up where, if you're willing to, live with 2 or 3 day shipping or 4 or 5 day shipping, then you get cheaper items, kind of like, to try to compete with Temu and stuff like that. So, absolutely, Temu is we're always looking at other platforms and what they're doing and see if we can be inspired by them.
I think if I'd launch a drop shipping store or another physical products business, just as an experiment, right? A business experiment, it would be in the pet niche.
My favorite.
Yeah, the pet niche. If you have pets, you understand, right? You spend on them like if they were children.
Yes.
People don't have children anymore. What is your take on that niche? And also, could I do it like in a super lean way in which I would never even have to see the physical objects that I'm selling and never even think of managing that part?
100%. First of all, I love the pet niche. A lot of the videos that I've done in the past for Sell the Trend, it's almost like comical. I'm always like, you can try the pet niche, or like, here's a drop down, select the pet niche. I'm always selecting the pet niche because I love animals, right? So, and also pet niche is a passionate audience, right? So not just because I love them, but also because it's a great niche to get into because of everything that you said, right? It's a passionate audience. You'd spend on your pets like you would spend on your kids, and sometimes people would even do more for their pets. So yeah, so it's absolutely a great niche. And with drop shipping, you can go, for example, on our expert selection tool, which is handpicked products by our experts, right? So people have, humans have looked at, products based on what we recommend as our winning product points. These are the highlights of what a winning product should have. And then they've picked some of these products, and you can go and select the pet niche, and then find products that are, not only are they, winning products, but they are not saturated, right? So these are products that maybe haven't already been all over social media and, are going to be a little harder to sell. So you can find a product from that Explorer, from that winning product Explorer, and then you can add that product to your store. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to test it, because we also give you the suppliers that you can use. And then we also rank and rate suppliers on a star system. So you can kind of visually see, okay, this is like a 4.5 star AliExpress supplier, or this is, CJ Dropshipping, or any of these other suppliers. And then you don't have to touch anything, and you can just start selling and automatically shipping these products to your customers while the supplier is going to do the shipping. But yes, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole promise of drop shipping, is that it is the easiest, how can I say this? I don't want to say it the wrong way. It is a low barrier of entry, right? So you don't have to spend a lot of capital, like maybe FBA or, any some of these other models where you have to spend $5,000, $10,000 or whatever to bring stock over to Amazon. So it's a lower barrier of entry. And with all the tools that we give you, we already give you a heads up, like a push up in terms of the ease of use. And then the rest of the stuff comes to any kind of regular business mentality. You have to be persistent. You have to, have a, no give up attitude. You have to, study a little bit, right? Not everybody knows everything immediately. So yeah, so it's absolutely a great business model if you're willing to apply yourself, like any business.
Yeah, and niching down, I think I'd niche down in the luxury pet business, then also deciding of who would buy that. My favorite audience usually is CEOs and founders, so I would find a twist regarding this. And then finally, I would build content myself, of course, with all the tools that I have, the AI tools, right? And hopefully convert my clients into affiliates, right? It's like, hey, you use the product, now just rave about it. I'll send you more. But yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast. They maybe you've inspired me to be crazy again and launch another business experiment here. I call it a business experiment because obviously I don't expect much. I've got extra money to blow, but yeah, most people. I mean, yeah, low barrier to entry, like you said. Maybe they should
Absolutely.
start with that. Who knows? Where
Absolutely.
can
Absolutely.
people find out more about you and the business, Rush?
Yeah, so absolutely. You can go to sellthetrend.com, at sellthetrend on all the socials. You can send us a message on any of the socials. You can obviously subscribe. You start a 14-day trial, $0, right? So you don't have to really spend anything. And you can actually make sales during the trial, unlike some other platforms where you can't make a sale until you enter your credit card, until you pay for a subscription. You can make sales. You can, do everything within the 14-day trial. You don't have to pay anything. If you're not happy, you can move on. And if you do want to start, Charles, if you do want to start drop shipping, I'd love to set you up with a Sell the Trend account. And I'd love to get that fire back in you and get you back into drop shipping. I'd love to see that for you.
Rush from